like to call to order the January 25th, 3 p.m. Finance meeting. And we're going to get started with Health and Human Services. Number one, authorization for the Department of Human Services to renew contract with Jacqueline Christie for consultation nurse practitioner services. Consultant
Move it.
practitioner service. Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Number two, authorization for the Department of Human Services to contract with Dr. Jeremy Vos to provide 7:30 consultation services for the balance of calendar year 2023.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Number three, authorization for the Department of Human Services to contract with masterclass.com to provide
Move it.
masterclass training dates.
Simmons.
Motion is second. All in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Carried. Number four, authorization for the Department of Human Services to fill a vacant 1.0 staff psychologist position, grade 26B, due to a resignation.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number five, authorization for the Department of Human Services to fill a vacant mental health substance abuse coordinator position, grade 21C, due to retirement and any backfills created.
I'll move it.
Move it. Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Carried. Number six, authorization for the Department of Human Services to fill vacant approved account clerk position due to resignation and fill any backfills that may be created.
I'll move it.
Move it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Carried. Number seven, authorization to fill one healthy neighborhood specialist.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number eight, authorization to fill one public health educator due to promotion.
Move it.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number nine, fill one early intervention senior service coordinator due to retirement.
Move it. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 10, authorization to upgrade the position of Director of Patient Services to include deputy responsibilities.
Move it. Morel.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 11, authorization to contract with a speech language pathologist for early intervention and preschool services.
Move it. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 12, authorization to contract with a speech language pathologist for early intervention and preschool services.
Move
Move
it.
it.
Simmons.
Morel.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 13, authorization for the Health Department to modify contract for Health Information Management Consultant.
Move that. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 14, authorization to enter into contract for patient interpretation services.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 15, authorization to accept performance incentive award.
Move it, Morel.
Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 16, authorization to purchase air purifiers for local school districts and daycare centers using grant funding.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'm just wondering how much money it costs to actually change the air filters in those units. That could be a pretty healthy expense on some of them. Okay, number 17. Request authorization to convert one clerk typist position.
Move
grade
it. Simmons.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 18, request authorization to fill one caseworker position, base salary $58,639, and any backfills created.
Move it, Morel.
Second.
Motion in the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And that's from a resignation also, too.
Yep.
Number 19, request to fill one part-time social assistant social services attorney position, approved emergency fill, attached.
I'll move it.
Second.
Second.
Motion in the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 20, requesting permission to enter into contracts with 13 youth program service in Columbia County at a total cost of $59,614 to reach Center, Columbia Opportunities, City of Hudson, Town of Austerlitz, Hillsdale, Chatham, Kinderhook.
Jim, just before people vote on, it is 60,000. I want to change that back to 60,000.
Okay,
There is a budget transfer that's necessary with this one. There wasn't in the original, and that's why I scribbled there on the bottom.
okay, so it is 60,000 then.
Yep.
Okay,
And I'm
So it's
still
gonna be
trying to
that-
figure, I'm still trying to figure out why Gent's not a part of it. We always were. But we'll work on that down the road.
He replied to your email.
Yep. And I still was confused.
Yeah.
He implied that Gent has never had a youth program before. Is the way I took it. 2022 wasn't our first year having a Gent youth program, but it's fine. We'll move forward and get this
Yeah,
done.
we can always do something separately if we have to, Greg. I'll move it with the change.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we weren't eligible for some reason in 2021, but I was only under the impression that it didn't run because of COVID, but maybe they still needed to go through with the paperwork and it didn't happen. So it's a good possibility that we're not eligible. But as far as I know, we've always been part of this. So
Okay.
okay. So we have a motion at 60,000. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion in the second. All in favor?
I
Aye.
And
Opposed?
opposed. I mean, in favor. Craig, just let us know, I guess, if there's anything I can do to help with it, getting on the list in the future.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Mike. I reached out to Dan when we first met him, and I felt like I got everything fired up and helped him supply with all the stuff. And then I hadn't heard much more about it, so I panicked when I saw it as a resolution. I ran back through, in case I missed an email or something, and didn't. So I'm not really positive yet. So it's kind of new to me that we're not a part of it now. We always had been.
Yeah,
And
what is the gap from just like adding Ghent onto that list
Well, I don't know if we're eligible through
through the state grant?
through the state.
Okay.
Yeah, the list comes down from the state after applications are processed. So if he's not on now, I think it's too late, but
And that's
work to get him on 23 is.
right.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing, but I don't understand why, because when we were filling out 22s, we copied 21s.
Well, just remember Dan wasn't the director then, so.
No, I know. So,
Okay, maybe we should just check into it next time, or
Yep.
we anything.
We'll move on.
Okay, so we're on 21 in public safety. The price on this, I think this was changed. I read a couple of the emails. It says 86,700, but when you ran the program that we have, I think brought it up to 105. Is that correct?
Yeah, because of his years of experience. I just talked to Michael this morning about it. And Jim had indicated that he had money in the budget to cover it.
Yeah, I seen that.
So,
We
But
should
this
be okay, but,
program,
so his salary based on his years of experience should be 105, based on the chart we had all worked on.
okay, that's what I was concerned about. Okay, so that 86,700 has got to be changed to 105 with that correction.
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
Okay, authorization to fill one vacant budgeted assistant district attorney position full-time at an annual salary of 100.
Move it, Simmons.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 22, authorization to fill one vacant budgeted DA's court liaison position, full-time, at an annual salary of $54,810.
Move it, Simmons.
I'll
Second.
Okay, we have motion and a second. I think Matt seconded it. if I'm not-
Yes.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 23, to accept the grant award in the annual amount of $50,581 over a 3-year period from the New York State
I'll
Office.
move it.
Second.
That's 100% money.
Yeah.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 24, to accept the grant award.
I'll
Third
move it.
upstate.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 25, the Columbia County Board of Supervisors to support bills currently in New York State Legislature related to strengthening local emergency medical services. These
Move it, Simmons.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm
Carried.
in favor, but for the final, can we spell out a little bit more in more detail? I know we did it at the like first meeting. We kind of went through what those resolutions were.
They're all there. I think they're attached there, are they not?
Yeah, I mean, like in the final resolution, like I just think the language needs to get worked on a little bit.
I thought they were all attached to that.
They usually are.
I think they
Okay.
were at the public safety meeting when we voted on it, but
Okay.
Yeah,
it's still fairly drafty, is what. So I think before.
PJ, are you on this?
Yeah, I did attach it at the public safety meeting, so I don't know where it went, but I can resend that to Kelly.
I assume it'll get attached to the final.
There, I just don't attach all the attachments, otherwise I'd be
Right.
scrolling through a ton of stuff for you
Right.
guys.
Okay.
meeting.
It's usually on
Okay.
after. Yeah, you can. All right, number 26. Is that where we are? Authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a full-time correction officer.
Move it, Simmons.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 27, authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a full-time correction officer.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Again, those both are from resignations. Authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a full-time communications officer.
Move it. Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 29, authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a part-time clerk typist.
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Another resignation.
Yes, yeah, they're, all right, this is a demotion, but authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a full-time corporal correction officer.
Move it, Simmons.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 31, authorization for the sheriff's office to enter into a renewal agreement with a dietitian consultant.
That's
Move it, Morel.
second Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 32, authorization for the sheriff's office to purchase a new records management system.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. I guess this is in his budget, is correct?
Yep.
Okay,
And it's cheaper than the current system.
okay,
Well,
We
yeah,
have-
it's free this, and then there's maintenance next year. We got to start paying on it.
okay.
Yep.
We got to remember that in budget then. All right, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 33, authorization to fill for 3 sheriff office vehicles to be declared surplus property and sent to county auction.
I'll move it.
Second Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There was a couple, there was one that was questionable, but we did look it over and talk about it, and it's going the right place. Kelly, can you just lower that just to, oh. Okay, all right, got it. Thank you. Number 34. Request authorization to accept the FY 2022 Domestic Terrorism Prevention Grant Program totaling $172,413.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 35. Request authorization to accept funding of the FEMA Hazard Mitigation Program, project number 45670016 for Columbia County Local.
Move it. Simmons.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Jim, you're halfway there.
Yeah. Number 36, request authorization to extend the contract for FY 14 statewide interoperable communications grant originally totaling $3,500,000. The original resolution is numbers and last resolution contract to be extended to December 31st, 2023. This grant will be dispersed in accordance with state Homeland Security and Emergency Service guidelines.
I'll move
Move
it.
it, Morel.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 37, appoint Eli L. Faulkner and David Hilbert as members of the cause and
Move it.
team.
They're volunteers, not costing us a dime.
Second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. It's good to get volunteers, isn't it?
Yes. Starting for
Number 38, to enter into a contract with Fitch and Associates to undertake a study of the volunteer fire departments in the county in regards to recruitment and retention initiatives, as well as overview of the fire service and suggestions on how to provide viable service in the future. ARPA funds will be allocated for this study.
move it. Simmons.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And we did have an ARPA meeting the other day to
Yep.
authorize it.
Yes.
Right.
Number 39, authorization for the Real Property Service Agency to fill one data collector, real property tax services aid position.
Move it.
I'll move it. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 40, authorization to initiate a government operations greenhouse gas inventory for Columbia County.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 40, appointing a member to the Columbia County Planning Board Region Number 7, consisting of the town of Gallatin and town of Taconic. Who they put in there? I didn't,
Reporter.
oh, Porter, okay, yep.
I'll move it.
Or second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 42, resolution to approve addition of 2022 New York State Agricultural and Markets Law Article 25-AA Agricultural District.
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 43, authorizing the Columbia County Board of Supervisors as the seeker lead agent to make a determination that the addition of New York State Agriculture and Markets Law, Article 25-AA Agricultural District, Section
Move it,
30B.
Simmons.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 44, Public Works, to authorize the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to execute an agreement with Partners in Safety, Inc. of Middletown, New York.
This is our drug testing program.
Correct. Do we get a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 45, authorization to extend the existing contracts for liquid bituminous fiber reinforced surface treatment, pavement milling, shoulder milling, cold-in-place recycling, and guide rail to all vendors listed on the attached Appendix B. One additional year is provided for the existing contracts awarded on the board resolution number 125-2022.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 46, authorization for the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to enter.
Move it. Simmons.
Motion and
Second.
a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 47, authorization for the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to enter into a one-year general.
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
They cutting the trees
Opposed?
down,
Carried.
County 9 for us? Jim,
Excuse me? I didn't hear.
that's the outfit that's gonna cut the trees down on County 9?
Pretty sure.
Yep, that's what I thought. Thank you.
We did clean up over on a railroad also on the rail yard last time. That one issue we had, remember?
Oh, okay.
That wasn't them though, that was somebody else.
All right.
Public Works, whereas the County of Columbia is in the planning unit responsible for developing a local solid waste management plan pursuant to section 27-0107, paragraph 1A of the Environmental Conservation Law of the State of New York. And whereas we have a motion,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. On favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 49, authorization for the Solid Waste Department.
Move it.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Resignation. Number 50, the Solid Waste Department is seeking permission to enter into a service agreement with Metla Toledo to maintain scale located at the Greenport Transfer Station.
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 51, the Solid Waste Director is seeking permission to enter agreements with commercial establishments to provide waste disposal services.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Number 52, the Solid Waste Department is requesting the purchase of two 2023 Ford F-250 XL Super Cab 4x4s.
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 53, authorization to renew budget period and accept reimbursement funding from the New York State Unified Court System for maintenance activities at the Columbia County Courthouse.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second, 100, yeah. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Guess that's 100% maximum compensation.
Mhm.
It's all coming to
Okay.
us.
A resolution is requested authorizing the chairman of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors to execute a consultant agreement for the construction, observation, and administration of the Columbia County Airport Terminal apron rehabilitation.
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 55, a resolution is requested authorizing the chairman of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors to execute and submit all required grant
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye. Anything for Dan,
Opposed?
you know?
Carried.
You gotta keep those folks happy.
Yeah. Number 56, a resolution requested authorizing the award and execute a contract to purchase the installation, the replacement of an existing kerosene unit heater with a new LP gas-fired unit heater at the Kinderhook DPW outpost to the lowest responsible quotation received from Stuyvesant Mechanical of Stuyvesant, New York, in the amount of $12,250.
I'll move it.
We have a motion and a second. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And I believe they're going to take this tank that's in pretty good shape and move to another facility, Ron, is that correct?
Right, that's right. Yeah, Coke Bake, I think.
Okay.
Eventually.
Going to the airport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm joking.
So we're gonna go all solar at the airport, you know?
Yeah, I know. We're good.
Okay. Authorization to renew the contract with Columbia Economic Development Corporation.
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 58, authorization to support the 2023 application for New York State CDBG funds for the Hudson Roastery project.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 59, authorization to amend the Columbia County procurement policy.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in
Marissa's
fa-
on if anybody has any questions.
Do we have any questions before we go?
I can't recall what exactly who's
So-
getting permission to sign more money. on.
So I guess I'll just give like a brief description of what it is. Basically, the state sets a certain amount through finance law with where we have to bid after, but they allow municipalities, school districts, and such to kind of set the thresholds beyond that or below that. So we're just increasing some of those amounts by small bits to kind of just account for the fact that money doesn't get us as far as maybe it usually did in the past. So for something like a commodity or a good, where we used to have to get quotes starting at $1,000, our departments now won't have to get quotes until $1,500. So it's not huge increments, but there are certain changes like that, both for goods and commodities as well as public works, as well as just clarifying for our departments, and if we get audited on things, what we need if we are going to declare something best value or sole source, an emergency purchase, like just giving us a little bit more information to work with. So
Thank you,
Yeah,
Marissa.
I guess with the costs of everything going up, you're right. You can't use that base no more that we were.
Yeah, yeah, and we looked at like the places around us or with population similar, so we're pretty in line now. I think this has been something that's been happening everywhere. So
Thank you. We appreciate it. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 60, authorization to award the rebid for ULS diesel fuel number 2, fuel oil, and
Move it, Simmons.
Second, Morel.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 61, authorization to renew and amend the public transportation contract.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 62, authorization for the Central Services Department to declare a vehicle surplus property.
Move it, Simmons.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 63, authorization to fill one part-time clerk typist due to resignation.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's the individual that helps out in the print room?
Right.
Okay.
And front desk occasionally.
Number 64, authorization to approve a contract with Drescher and Melicky LLP for the preparation of annual financial statements and audits for the years 2022 to 2025.
Move it, Simmons.
Does anyone have a second?
Second.
Second.
I'm sorry.
No. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Is that the
Opposed?
company we're currently using?
It's not. We use UHY now, and we've got 6 or 7 bids on the RFP, and Drescher Malecki was the lowest bidder. I've used them in Rensselaer County. They're very good, and they do a lot of counties around the state.
Thank you.
Okay, number 65, authorization to enter into a contract with Berkeley Life and Health Insurance Companies for a stop loss policy.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 66, authorization to fill the chief accountant's payable clerk position.
We better do that. I move it, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Think of all the money we could save if we didn't have that position, though.
Yeah, there you go.
I think somebody'd be knocking on the door.
Number 67, authorization to amend the 2023 adopted budget.
So this is just quickly a correct. We put the sheriff charges DSS for working the front door, and we had it in personal services. It's easier for them to get reimbursement from if we put it as a 0.4 the transfer in. So that's all we're doing is moving that.
I'll move it, Simmons.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 68, authorization to establish sewer district rates effective January 1st, 2023.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 69, authorization to extend a grant period with the Department of Justice and amend the contract with Hudson Greater Promise Neighborhood for the Second Chance Grant.
This is the one, Mike, you were mentioning, right?
Yeah, it's Greater Hudson,
Right.
but I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we're at number 70, remove bookkeeper position from the 2023 budget, add and fill an account clerk position due to promotion of senior account clerk, resulting in a savings of $5,756.
Move it, Simmons.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That's it?
Okay.
Well, that went
That
quick.
must have been a PJ, that was one of your savings, wasn't it?
You know, out of 70 resolutions, I think that's the only one that said savings. I
No, there was
$700 and you guys spent millions.
Well,
37 minutes. We went through a lot of money.
Oh my God.
there was
And
some
Matt
grand-
volunteered to type them all. He said
Oh, Lord.
70.
Whoa.
If I could just say a couple things, Michael, on that resolution, is it okay if we put in the bill numbers? Is that what you'd like in that resolution?
Yeah, just add a little specificity. That's great.
Okay. And the other thing is that you turned us on to that tribal grant back in October, November, and we didn't think we qualified through that. Through NICEAG and Jim's digging, today we found out that chances are we do qualify for that grant. It's 50,000 for 22 and 50,000 for 23, but time will tell, but we did do some digging on that.
We qualify because we got a $129 payment from the federal government.
So we get $100,000.
$100,000 for that $129.
Wow.
I'll take it. So I'm into savings too, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds good.
That'd be
And
great. Thanks.
You all received your sales tax numbers for the towns. You know, we'll be sending that out next year sometime, if you don't mind. We'll just hold on.
Yeah.
Okay,
How
with
you doing with the taxes coming in, PJ? How's the money?
Listen, thank you to your tax collector. She's the first one in with money, and I appreciate
Okay.
that, okay? She's number
Good.
one, so that's great. Other than that, we haven't received any, but it'll start coming in now.
Okay.
We ended up the year about 10.8% ahead in sales tax, but
Yeah.
PJ being the conservative that he is, I wouldn't count on that for 23. Who knows what's going to happen, but we had a very good year in sales tax for 22, but you know, hopefully you didn't budget way too much for 23. Although it's okay if that happens.
Okay. Anyone else have anything else to discuss? If not, motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have
You
a nice
guys later.
day.
Be
Careful of
safe
the
out there
snow.
in the snow.
Yeah, it's
Thank
okay.
you, everyone.
It's coming down out here. I don't know how.
Oh, yeah.
It's snowing here again.
Yes.
Yeah.
snowing in
You
Hudson.
send it our way. Thanks, Jim.
All right. Be
Take care.
safe.
See you guys.
Take care now.